Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about a key topic from your class 9 NSQ of IT curriculum. So under employability skill, we'll start with unit 1, that is communication skills. Communication is not just about talking or writing. It's about sharing ideas, working well with others, and standing out, especially in the field of IT. In this video, I'll explain what communication skills are, why they matter, and how you can improve them. I'll be also using a PPT to make the things clear to you. So let's get started. Let us first learn what is communication. So communication is described as sharing of information between two or more individuals or a group to achieve a common understanding. Let us see the image here which illustrates the communication process. It involves the exchange of information between a sender and a receiver. So here's a breakdown of the component. S stands for sender, who is the individual or entity who initiates the message. Message is the actual information or the content which is being conveyed, which can be verbal, written or non-verbal also. R stands for receiver, who is the person or a group for whom the message is intended. They decode and interpret the message. And lastly, the feedback is sent by the receiver to indicate whether they have understood the message or to continue the interaction. Now, feedback ensures effective communication by closing the loop. The arrows here represents the two-way nature of communication, highlighting that it is a dynamic process that requires participation from both the sender and the receiver. So this process is vital for understanding and collaboration in various contexts. Let us go further and now see what is the importance of communication. Communication is essential in our daily lives for three main reasons. First is to inform. Now, inform means it helps you to share the facts or provide information clearly to others. Example, if a teacher explains a topic or she wants to share a project updates to her students, so she needs to inform clearly to her students so that the students understand what the teacher wants to convey the message to them. Next is influence. Communication allows you to persuade or guide someone's action or decisions. Example, if you want to convince a friend to join you for a dinner party, you need to influence that person very well that you are sure he will be joining you for the dinner party tonight. Lastly, it is expressing your feelings. That means talking about your emotion is vital for mental and emotional well-being. It helps you to build a better relationship and helps others to understand you clearly. So finally, in short, the communication is key to share your knowledge, build relationships, and expressing yourself effectively. Next, let us learn what is perspectives in communication. Perspectives means you have a particular attitude towards something. In simple, In simple terms, let us understand perspective is your attitude or a way of thinking about something. For example, there are two people who are looking at a glass of water. One say it's half full while the others say it's half empty. But both are looking at the same glass. But their perspectives or the way of seeing the situations are completely different. So in communication, perspective plays a huge role because how you view a situation will influence the way you express yourself and how you interpret what others say. It's like having a pair of sunglasses with a certain tint. You see everything through that shade, and so does everyone. But their tint might be different from yours. So next time when you are in a conversation, ask yourself, what's my perspective on this and how might it differ from theirs? That awareness can change everything. Let us now talk about factors that are affecting communication and which creates a barrier. So the first one here is a language. Imagine one person speaks in Hindi and the opposite person speaks in Chinese. Without a common language, they can't understand each other, which makes communication impossible. Next factor which affects the communication is visual perception. Sometimes what we see in front of us can be misinterpreted based on a personal understanding. For example, if you see someone's frowning face, you might think they are upset, even if they are just concentrating. Also, look at the top right corner. This image, if you concentrate, if you look at the white portion, it looks like two people facing each other. But if you concentrate only on the black color, it looks like a flower pot. So misinterpretation like this can lead to communication gaps. Let us go further. It is past experience. So our past experiences can also affect how we respond. For instance, if you had an argument with a friend yesterday and then they try to talk to you today, your memory of the fight might make you hesitant or unwilling to communicate properly. Next, we have prejudice here. So, prejudices are fixed thought we have about ourselves and others. For example, thinking like nobody in the class likes me or I'm not good at making friends. These negative beliefs can stop us from socially engaging with others and it will hinder our effective communication. Lastly, it is feelings. Emotions like sadness or boredom can also create barriers in communication. For example, if you are feeling very low and someone tries to have an important conversation with you, you might not give them your full attention, which leads to misunderstanding. So being aware of these factors help us overcome them and improve how we can connect with others. Let us now talk about four different types of communication style, which are verbal, non-verbal, written, and visual communication. First, let us learn what is verbal communication. Now, verbal communication means sharing of information using words. It is one of the most common types which are often used during presentation, video conferences, phone call, meetings, and one-to-one conversation. Now, verbal communication is important because it is efficient. Efficient means without wasting any time, you are able to deliver your message properly to someone. Like, let us take one more example here. If you are explaining a project idea in a team meeting, now verbal communication helps you to get your point right across at that moment. So this is about verbal communication. Let us learn about non-verbal communication. This is all about using your body language, gestures, and facial expressions to communicate. It can be sometimes intentional, like giving a thumbs up to show approval, or it can be unintentional, like crossing your arms while you are upset. Nonverbal communication is helpful when trying to understand others' thoughts and feelings. Example, if someone is smiling and nodding while you talk, this clearly shows that they are interested in listening to your conversation carefully, even without saying a word. Nonverbal cues help us understand others' thoughts and feelings. Next is visual communication. Visual communication involves using of pictures, videos, drawings, or charts to share your information. It is great because some people learn and understand better when they see visuals instead of just hearing or reading words. Example, think about a pie chart in a presentation showing company's profit or a YouTube tutorial video that explains you how to bake a cake. Also take another example, a figure of a man or a figure of a woman. This symbol outside the washroom, it quickly communicates which restroom to use without any words. So this is all about visual communication. Next is written communication. This means sharing of information through writing, typing, or printing. It is super useful because this creates a permanent record which you can refer back later also. For example, of written communication is email, text messages, blogs, books, or even WhatsApp chats are all forms of written communication. For instance, at work, you might write an email to your boss summarizing a meeting. It's a clear and a professional way to keep everyone on the same page. So, by understanding all these four styles of communication, you can pick the best way to share your ideas depending on the situation. Next, let us learn what is body language and why it is important in your communication. Body language is a key part of non-verbal communication. It's all about using your physical gestures and movements to convey information. What's interesting is that our body language often says more than our words. That is why it is so important to ensure that our gestures are matching with our words. And this creates a synergy between the words and the action. We will go We will now see what body language includes. The first one is facial expression. Your face often reveals how you are feeling. For example, a smiling face can show happiness, while a frowning can indicate sadness or frustration. Next is posture. The way you sit or the way you stand speaks your volumes. For instance, standing tall with shoulders back shows confidence, while slouching might indicate nervousness or disinterest. You need to have a good posture also when you are doing a meditation. Next is gestures. These are the movements of your hands or arms to express something. For example, waving your hand to say hello or using hand movement to emphasize a point during a speech. You must have seen many a times in your class when your teacher is explaining any topic to you, they are using gestures, hand movements to put their point across. So this is the example of what is gestures in body language. Next is eye movement. Your eyes are very expressive. Maintaining an eye contact shows attentiveness and confidence, but avoiding it might suggest a discomfort and shyness. Next is touch. A touch can also communicate some meaning. For example, a handshake can indicate a greeting or an agreement, while a comforting pat on the back can show some love and support. Lastly is the use of space. The distance between you and the others can also convey a meaning. Example, standing too close might make someone very uncomfortable, while maintaining an appropriate distance shows respect for personal space. So body language is very important when it comes to communication skills. For example, imagine you are talking to someone who says I am fine, but their arms are crossed and they are avoiding an eye contact with you. This body language tells a different story, and you might sense that they are really not okay. So, next time when you are communicating, pay attention to your body language as it makes a big difference in how your message is received. Let us now learn about greetings and introduction. Greetings are words or phrases we use to say hello or show politeness before starting any conversation. For example, we might say hi, good morning, or how are you when we meet a friend, family, or even strangers. But introduction is when we tell others about ourselves or someone else. For example, when you meet someone new, you might say, my name is John, or this is my friend Sarah. It's a way to let people know who you are or who someone else is. So, greetings are for starting a conversation, and introductions are for sharing information about people. Let us first see what is formal. Formal greetings are a polite way of saying hello or starting a conversation in any situation where the respect is most important. These greetings are used with people you don't know very well or in any professional settings. Let us take an example. If it is between two employees, an employee may greet each other by saying good morning or hello, how are you today? If it is between a teacher and a student, a teacher may say good morning class or how are you today John? If suppose it is between a teacher and a parent, a teacher may greet parent by saying good evening Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So these greetings show respect and politeness, especially in situations where the people may not know each other very well. Next is informal greetings. Now, informal greetings are a casual way of saying hello between people who know each other very well. It can be like your family, friends, or your closed ones. Informal greeting can be, if it's between friends, they say, "Hey, what's up, dude?" Or if it is between a family, it can be like, "Hi, mom, how's it going today?" Thank you for watching. I hope this lesson on communication skill has helped you understand the concepts related to communication. I will be also uploading notes on this chapter, so kindly like, share and subscribe to the channel.